Hello and welcome to our brand new series of Dev Talks where we talk about Kromlech with the devs. And today it's Šimon, our 3D artist. Hello, Šimon.
Hello.
So, how would you describe your role in the team?
Well, mainly I'm 3D artist for props, and when I came to Perun, there was only Philip, for almost like all 3D work, which is not characters or weapons or clothes. So I came to kind of like help him out with creating buildings and various props, but also with some like environmental elements, which was a bit overwhelming. So after that, we also there is also Vite Kalani who are creating the environmental stuff. So after all that, I'm doing mostly props and architecture stuff.
How do you make a world feel ancient and also lived in rather than freshly built, so it doesn't feel like just a make-believe story?
Yeah. I don't know. I think like you have to mainly like think about how the props like would be made hypothetically, like what are the tools which the people who are like would create them would be using, or how the materials would age, and usually there is also like a lot of like repairs. Like I don't know, we have some items which are like repaired a lot by the time, and the result is this, which we are usually like trying to make. So I think this is one of the main, I don't know, strategy how to create stuff which look old or like believable in this setting.
What's the biggest challenge in creating props that are supposed to be maybe mythical or have some special properties, unnatural properties, but they still need to be believable in the grounded world of Kromlech?
I don't know. I think there has to be some kind of like a layer of some like symbolism or something like that, or some like marks and those kind of things, which should be somehow like believable that it like could exist somehow, and it's not like something random. But I think it's usually some layer which Honza Pospíšil is like thinking about, and not so much me.
And what would you say is like a one environmental prop that players might overlook, but you're especially proud of?
I don't know. I don't know if I have like one specific one, but I really liked the setups of the graves, which are quite common there, or not so uncommon, and I quite like the storytelling, which is like somehow there.
Do you collaborate with writers and designers to make sure your models match the lore?
Like yeah, sure. I think like usually in like all of the phases of the development, there are some checkups if the props are somehow like appropriate or feels right in the world. So yeah.
Speaking of stuff that feels right, what's the difference between designing something that looks good in a screenshot or maybe in a video, but then it also needs to feel right in the game?
I think the like important difference is in perspective. That it's quite surprising how everything changes when you are like looking at stuff from this like third person view. That I don't know. I think it would be like totally different thing if it would be like first person thing, or it would be like static render without like I don't know, some like human perspective. And also the quite important thing is that you kind of like see everything in some like motion and from like different distances. So usually you have to think that you will see this prop from like I don't know, from quite great distance, or from really like not so great distance, and also the scale is quite changing because I don't know, we don't have the capacity to kind of like create so many things like dedicated to one purpose. So it's quite common that the props are like reused in many like different setups and many different scales. So we are kind of like trying to make them that it would work in those like different scales, and it's definitely playing some role there.
For players who aren't familiar or versed in 3D art, what actually goes into building a single prop from scratch? Like you look at an empty screen and you need to create something. Like what's your creative process?
Like luckily, usually I don't really look at the empty screen from the beginning, because usually I have some, I don't know, either a concept art or some like references or something like that. So there is some start to begin, but then usually we'll create some really like low poly version of the prop, and then this version is iterated a few times to see if, I don't know, the scale is right and the dimensions are right, and if yes, then I will create some like more detailed model. Then probably there are some more iterations, and the next step is textures and some checkups if it looks like correct with the other things which are already there.
And is there something about creating the 3D props, about actually sculpting the world that players would be surprised to learn that most people don't know?
I don't know. I think maybe it's surprising how like long it takes to create something, even if it's some like quite small thing. Also, I don't know. For me, quite surprising is that it really doesn't matter so much if it's something like really small or something really big, and the amount of time which is like in any prop is like not more or less the same, but it doesn't matter so much if it's something like super huge or super small.
Also, if you could lure players to look for one detail in the game, what would it be?
Yeah, I quite like the particle system of dragonflies which are there near the rivers.
Okay, so remember, look for the dragonflies. Shimon, the early access for Kromlech is coming really soon. We're actually days away. How do you feel?
A bit nervous, but I hope it's gonna be fine. So yeah,
Are you
okay.
looking forward to play the game?
Yeah, really, because actually I didn't play it at all, I would say. Like in some, like I played some like tests which were like important for things which I'm taking care of, but I actually never like played the whole story, so I'm like really looking forward to it.
So it's going to be a big surprise.
Yeah, for me, sure.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you. Remember, Kromlech comes out March 5th, 2026. Wishlist now.